I've done it again. I had an idea for a cute little machine that people could use to help them make D&D characters in Minecraft. And no, it's not a little project at all. It's a massive, month-long build and the biggest redstone machine in this world that involves hollowing out this mountain. In this series, we're making the ultimate D&D gaming room in Minecraft that lets us roll all of our dice in the world that we're playing. The first decision our players are going to make is what class are they going to be? Are they going to be a sneaky rogue, a nature-loving druid, or a learned classer? And they're going to make that decision in the Hall of Destiny, where we are going to bring all of the D&D classes to life. You join us digging a tunnel under the cursed swamp of the Hex Fen. And that's because I know that among the many things that are down here, there is an abandoned mineshaft with spider spawners. Why do we need a spider spawner? Well, let me tell you, we need lots of string. We need lots of string to make lots of scaffolding. We need lots of scaffolding to make a shulker farm. And we need a shulker farm because we are going to use a ton of shulker boxes in this project. Every time somebody rolls stats, they are going to roll 6 ability scores with 6 different shulker boxes, and their character sheet is going to be a shulker box. And, well, I am not going to the end and mining an average of 3 shulkers for every single shulker box that I want to use. That would be crazy sauce. Here's what I'm building and why. We're over here in creative, so I can show you a very small scale mock-up of this thing. This is the place that people will come to choose their character class, or should I say, one of the 12 places. What I want to do is to give people who are unfamiliar with the game some idea of what are all of these classes, why is a bard not like a barbarian, and what do they both do. So each of these rooms is going to be like a little training room for that class. They're all going to be decorated as such. But they're also the place where you choose that class and choose later on to level up in this class. So the things that I have in my hand, I have some custom textured items here, which I've called level up. This pot here is kind of like a manual item filter. If you see I try to put some sticks in there, it won't work. That's because there are already items in there and they stack. So when I put the correct item in, this happens. It will open the first of these barrels here. And what's going to go in here is all of the information you need to know about being a level 1 barbarian. So I take a copy of my level up instructions out of here, and then I go and press the button to say I'm done leveling up. I put it up here for now. And then this is what happens. I get 2 items. This item tells me I have a level in barbarian, and this item is used to calculate how many hit points I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these items in my character sheet. Now, let's say I come back later in my adventure to level up. I put my character sheet in the machine, and the class level item opens up this barrel. And then if I want to level up to level 2, I put my next level up item into here. You can see that with each item I put in, it's going to open up the next barrel. Then when you're done with the first 5 levels, it's going to open this door where there are the next 5, and then the next 5, and then the next 5. So there are 4 of these rooms per class and 12 classes. You might start to be getting an idea of how big this machine is. And that's why those shulker boxes are going to come in handy right now, because look at the material list for this thing. That's over 8 shulkers of building blocks. A shulker of redstone, a shulker of glass, a shulker of barrels, and all sorts of other stuff. Okay folks, I have updates. Number 1, I've dug a big hole in this mountain. Number 2, we have the foundation laid out for this thing. And up here, this should give you an idea of how big the hall of character classes is going to be. And that leads me to the biggest update, which is all of the stuff that we need to build this thing is in this chest. We now finally have every single last block and component we need to build the thing. So we're going to build the thing, and we're going to start now. This is a message that goes out to anyone here who has big dreams. Building this thing took a month. And I don't have a script for this voiceover. I'm just going to speak from the heart. After a month of building, this is still a little project that has a big idea. So in case you're at the start of something, in case you have a big idea, but the only person who will take you seriously is you, I want to see the start of 1,000 big, stupid, original ideas. Don't do something that's the same. Don't do something that's safe. Do your big idea and do it your way. No one's going to do it but you. Well, that was a big build. And we're not quite done yet, because there are some things that we need to set up and some things we might need to tweak here and there. The first thing we want to test is if I put this shulker box, which is our character sheet, into here. Yep, there we go. It should whiz up into the rafters and it's going to get processed up there. Now there's nothing in it for now. The next thing we need to do is we're going to need to take some of these level up items and fill up these pots. So these need enough items so that they tick over to the 2 signal strength. You can hear them click as they tick over here. So I'm just going to do this to all of them. The next thing I need to do is I need to take all of these custom class level items and I need to put them into the machine. Every class up in the upper level of the machine has 2 droppers. One of them is the class level item, the other one is the hit die item. So I need to put all of these in the class level. And this is where they go. See, the barred ones go in here, and the hit dice, D8, goes in here, and then over here you can see the barbarian. And the D12 hit die goes in here. So having built this thing, I need to bring it to life by decorating these sets of rooms with 12 unique designs that represent the 12 D&D classes. And as I'm building these, I wonder if you can guess which ones are which. And something I want to do later is decorate some of the rooms that you have to unlock with some secrets, with some unique armor stand decorations that represent like the class features of that particular class. So it feels a little bit like opening an advent calendar. I also want a little explanation for those who are unfamiliar with the classes of what it's like to play one. And I could just do that as a book in a lectern. But I thought what would be more fun is to detect when somebody enters the room, which is why I'm in this ancient city gathering skulk sensors, and play them a custom audio. That was the one chest that I opened. And yes, I got insanely lucky with that swift sneak. And that's also why I'm blowing up these creepers with the help of a skeleton, so that I can mass produce some music discs. Because on this server I have the audio player mod from Breadloaf and Henkel Max. And we're going to try and put some audio on this disc. So I'm going to learn to do this live. Upload audio with file bin here. Well, that sounds like a good start. So I think it may have worked. So let's put this in the wizard one. And now, when we walk in here, we should hear, "Greetings! I am Ignatius Hollyoak, wizard. Welcome one and all to the Fighters Arena. This is the People's House. I'm not some bawdy 3-chord tavern performer. They call us barbarians. Let me let you into a secret. To be a ranger is to be one with the wild. The first thing I have to tell you is that sorcery cannot be learned, and it cannot be taught. Rogues, we'll steal your stuff. That's what everyone thinks, right? Breathe. Be calm. As a paladin, the most important things in your life are your god and your oath. Our otherworldly patron grants us certain boons. Druids work the magic of nature itself, and divine it is. Perhaps some among you will be fortunate enough to be chosen by one of Pantheon. What their divine plan has for you will be revealed in time. There you go, a little teaser of all 12 of the audios there, and if anybody wanted a taster of what it's like to be in a D&D session run by this particular goofball, well, it's like that. Now there's one more thing we need to add to this machine before we can test it, which is a thing called proficiency. Now, if you don't play D&D, your proficiency bonus is a number that your character has. And what that number means is it's how good you are at something, or rather how much better you are at something when you are trained in it. So you start out with a proficiency bonus of +2, and that means that anything that you are trained proficient in, you get an extra +2 to your roll in that. And I'm putting on the screen right now a table of the proficiency bonuses for a class all the way up to level 20. So what you can see is they start at level 2, then after level 5 they go up 3, and then after level 9 they go up 4. So every 4 levels you get an extra +1 proficiency. Now I want a machine that is going to calculate that. So I'm going to try and walk you through the process of how this thing is going to work. So I'm going to start with 4 hoppers. And here's the plan. What I want to do is I want some sort of item. So some sort of item where we have as many of these as we do levels. So we're a level 9 character. Let's say we have 9 sticks. And what I want to do is, let's say we have a water stream going along here. I want the first item to go into this hopper, the second item to go into this hopper, the third this one, fourth this one. And then when that's happened, what I want is for all of these hoppers to empty and for the 5th item to go into this hopper. So you can see the first one went in this one, the 5th one went in this one, the 9th one will go in this one. This one is where we increment the proficiency bonus. So what I want to do with each of these is I want to read the contents of the hopper with a comparator. And I'm going to put a block there because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a repeater that's going to power that block and then lock the hopper. So we just need to make sure that this signal feeds back into here. And probably the easiest way of doing it is to make that a block, to power this, and then we're going to have this be a target block so that the signal is always going to go in here. Now what we can do is we can stack this. And you can see that the dust here does connect, but this is only ever going to have a signal strength of 1, so that's fine. So first one goes in here, comparator lights up. Second one, third one, 4th one. Then what we need to do is when the 4th one lights up, we need to start pulling items out of these hoppers. So let's put some barrels so that the items can flow through. These are still solid blocks, so this doesn't work. And let's have a chain of hoppers underneath. And the best way to break this circuit here so that these hoppers can unlock is just to pull this block away, which we can do with a sticky piston. So we have a sticky piston here that is normally powered, and what we can do again is make this a target block, because what we can do is we can have our redstone signal go in here, and then when we see this 4th one light up, we can just put a repeater there. So this time, let's get our sticks. So first one in here, second one, third one, these should all unlock. There you go. Now, while we don't have one single item like those sticks that counts your class levels, what we do have is hit dice. And these we can use. So let's say that you are a level 12 in the most comedy multi-class, the Barbarian, with 6 levels in Barbarian and 6 levels in Bard. You will have 6 D12 hit dice and 6 D10 hit dice. And there are only 4 different hit dice you can have. You can have the D6, 8, 10, and 12. So that's reasonable. What we can do is we can create filters for all of those, and then we can count them. And then that gives us the total number of levels that our character has. And this does exactly that. So what we have here is we have filters for all of the different hit dice. I'll show you what that one is in a second. When those items are filtered out, they go through this hopper, They get it spit out by this dropper on a slow and dependable cycle. Then down here is our counting machine. And every time that first comparator lights up, what it also does is it activates this dropper. And this dropper has our proficiency bonus items in it. So what we do here is we also filter out those proficiency bonus items. So here's how it works. We have a character sheet which has our hit dice in. It'll also have our old proficiency bonus. What we do is we throw that into the machine. It'll spit out all of the items. All of the hit dice are going to get filtered. All of the proficiency bonus items are going to get sucked up here because we're going to calculate the new ones. So you can see this machine is busy mathing, and then once it's done mathing, it's going to release all of those items, and you can see we get our hit dice back, and we get the correct proficiency bonus for a level 12 character, which is 4. And after a little bit more digging and building, we've squeezed it in up here. And we've also got some custom textures for the proficiency bonus item now. So I think we're ready to give this whole thing a test. So let's say we're here rolling up a new character, and we've just rolled stats in this machine here. I have them all in my inventory here. And what we do is we come over here, and what I want to make is some sort of statue that dispenses a character sheet and a level up item. Then we come over here, we put the character sheet into the machine, and then it zooms up there, and what it should do is open this door. And then let's say we want to be a barbarian. Well, let's find out what a barbarian's all about.
Oh, it's you, is it? The fact you're still alive shows me you're serious. Maybe I can teach you a thing or two. They call us barbarians. Let me let you into a secret. That is a word used by someone who doesn't understand the primal power there is in the world, if they just let themselves feel it. Sometimes it comes from within ourselves, from our ancestors, from the life force of the world tree, but we have a word for it. Rage. Rage means you can turn away a blade without the need of armor. You can move faster, think faster, tap into instincts you didn't know you had. So, stick with me and maybe one day they won't call you a barbarian anymore. They'll call you what you are, a primal champion.
So I think that sounds pretty good to me. What I'm going to do is I am going to put my level up token into here, and then in here we have the class features for being a level 1 barbarian. Then what I do is I head all the way down here to this door, and then I hit this button. And then when my character sheet shows back up here, it should fill up. So yeah, I have my 1 detail of hit die, I have my 1 level in barbarian, and I have my proficiency bonus of +2. Now, let's imagine we're doing a level up. So I come back, I put my character sheet back in, and then what happens is that the level 1 barrel for barbarian opens, but maybe I'm like, oh, I want to be a barbarian, so let's see. I'm going to put a level in here.
Hello, my dear. Don't let the loot fool
And this
you.
actually has some items
I'm
in
not
there.
some bawdy 3-chord tavern performer, though I could play the part, if the scene required. I am a true practitioner of the arcane.
And actually, let's simulate what happens if we get to level
weird stuff.
5.
Song, theatre, even poetry. They're just a quicker way to access what the wizards spend a lifetime writing down in their books. We just do it with a little more flair. You'll need the charisma and the dexterity for that fancy footwork. But if you're interested, I could take you under my wing, tour the bardic colleges, dance, glamour, law, valor, and so forth. See which art speaks to you.
So what we should see is that this time we should have 5 class levels, 1 in Barbarian, 4 in Bard, and we should also see that we have our proficiency bonus has gone up. And indeed it has. So +3 proficiency, 4 levels in Bard, 1 in Barbarian, 4 d8 hit dice, 1 d12 hit dice. That is exactly what you would expect. So you should be starting to see how this is going to work. We have a way to roll our stats, we have a way to choose our class. What we need still is a way to choose the background of our character. And we need a way for us to assign all of those stats that we rolled to the 6 ability scores. And to do that, we're going to have to build more stuff to reach the tippity top of this mountain. But then what we end up with is we end up with this character sheet, and we're starting to fill it up. By the time we're done here, this is going to have information about all of your class features. It's going to have information about your background. All of the stuff that goes into the D&D character sheet is going to be in this little shelf box. And so next time, we are going to be building another very big thing, because I did tell you this project was about hollowing out a mountain. So next time, we're going to be building 6 shrines, 1 to each of the D&D ability scores, where you can choose what scores you're going to give to which ability. But that's going to be next time. And of course that next episode's going to be right here, but if you can't wait, you can come and see me building it on Twitch. And hey, you can hang out and chat with me while I'm doing it and get me to do more silly voices. And here's a link to my schedule. Until next time everybody, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've been Mojo Beast, this has been a zombie. Stay cool, stay Yeti, and keep rolling those dice. I have to try this. I didn't even think about this when I was building this. Hold on.
Rogues, we'll steal your stuff. That's what everyone thinks, right?
Did I succeed in my stealth
Admittedly,
check?
we might, but if we did, we had a good reason. I grew up on these streets, and I know every den and every alley.